Good morning. I'm Steve Stone, Associate Professor at Gardner-Webb University, and I am making this short video about our meeting last night that we had for site coordinators who are working with candidates in Gardner-Webb University's master's programs. The original video somehow got lost, so I wanted to make sure that it was made available for you. We started off the meeting with the prayer and welcome from Dr. Bull, who is the Dean of the School of Education. Dr. Bull spoke highly of the work that you do and wanted to make sure that he joined us to thank you for being partners with us and making sure that our candidates are given opportunities and have that role model and support that you provide. So we started off with Dr. Bull. We started off with the prayer as well, and I will show you a prayer that was of very interest to me. It's a prayer amid an epidemic. If you feel free to use it if you'd like. It is by Mrs. Carrie Weber, who's an executive editor at America magazine. It's a prayer amid an epidemic, and I won't read it to you, but it's a wonderful way to maybe put our staff at ease or put your staff at ease as we begin into this very uncharted time of a pandemic. So, and then I basically went into what the program at Gardner-Webb University is about. And so I'm going to do that very quickly and kind of talk through this. But Gardner-Webb offers two programs for people who want to be administrators. We offer the master's program of executive leadership, and we add an add-on licensure program. So I'm going to speak briefly to the master's program. And again, my purpose tonight is twofold. One is to let you know how much we really do appreciate your partnership with us and to thank you for that. And the other is to give you just a brief little synopsis of what our programs are. So if someone comes to you and says they're going to enroll in the master's program at Gardner-Webb, you kind of have an idea of what to expect and to talk a little bit about what the expectations for you as the site coordinator will be. So the Masters of Educational Leadership program is a 5-semester program where they, at the end of those 5 semesters, they will get a master's degree. They take 6 courses, and those 6 courses are designed around what we believe an effective administrator needs for the 21st century. They're also built around the 7 standards of school administrators. So the first is Executive Leadership in the 21st Century, all about change. And this introduces them to the change model, what's going on in our school systems as well as nationally. So it works all the way down through resource management, curriculum instruction, and we finish the course at 605 talking about the administrator evaluation standards, the PESL standards, and how they can be expected to be evaluated, therefore what is most important in their role as an administrator. They are required, each one of those 5 semesters, they are required to do 80 hours of site-based clinical experience. And this is where you come in. Now, we ask for them to do a variety of 80 hours. We ask for them to try to get beyond just administration, get into supervision, and I'll show you a little bit later on in this PowerPoint, which I will also attach to the email I send you, activities in which they can do. But every semester, they are responsible for 80 hours of clinical study. Now, this should be coordinated through you. They shouldn't be bugging you a lot, but they should come to you and ask you for opportunities in which they can work in different areas of school administration. So it's 80 hours a semester. So by the time that they have finished the 5 semesters, they have 400 hours of clinical study. Now, what we ask of you, and this is one of the things that we ask from you as a site administrator, is that at the end of the semester that you sign off on the log, which I'll show you briefly, that you have seen that they've done these 80 hours. That's it. They are then responsible for getting that log to us. So every semester they will come at the end of that semester to you and ask you to sign off on this log. And it just verifies that they've done the 80 hours. They also should be coming to you some point during the semester and saying, can I work in, can you think of something I can do in this little area or in supervision or in curriculum? So they should be looking for opportunities. Now that's you. Now for the students at that point, then they have to enter stuff into TaskStream, and North Carolina requires a portfolio rather than the practice exam. So each semester they are adding an evidence or an artifact into their electronic portfolio as well as some competencies. And at the end of the 5th semester, all of that will be uploaded and sent to the state in which they will earn their master's degree. So that's the 5 semester program, excuse me, or the master's program. 5 semesters, 80 hours a semester, TaskStream tasks for each one of those courses. Your only requirement is to sign off at the end of the semester and to give them opportunities as they come forward and to be a good role model. The other program that Gardner-Webb offers is an add-on master's program. This is for people who already have a master's and they're simply adding on school administration. It's a 3-semester program and they take 3 courses. They're still responsible for the 80 hours of clinical study, which means they're still responsible for coming to you at the end of that semester, asking you to sign off, and coming to you asking you for opportunities. And they also have to complete those evidences in the task stream electronic portfolio in the competencies. So that's a 3-semester program. That's an add-on to your existing master's. The master's program, the first one, is a 5-semester program, and that's a brand new master's. Now, within the internship experience, and this is where you are, we require that, of course, they do the 80 hours and the electronic portfolio. So let me speak briefly to the electronic portfolio. We ask that they complete 6 different evidences in the electronic portfolio. These are very practical. These are evidences that they will experience from day one when they step into the office of assistant principal or principal. The first one is an analysis and action plan for student learning. That is all centered around being able to take the North Carolina and South Carolina data, student data, performance data, and turn that into an action plan. Artifact 2 is about working with the teacher working conditions survey. It's also about working in South Carolina with the surveys that they do from advanced ed. And then from each one of these courses, and there are 6 of these artifacts, we're asking them to do something that is extremely practical. So that's one of the things that Gardner-Webb prides itself on, is that we send out candidates who really know how to read and understand data. We send out candidates who really do read and understand the working conditions survey and can make that work for an individual school. So in each one of these courses, they are required to complete 1 or 2 of these 6 artifacts. And at the end of their term, or the end of their semester, whether it's the 5 or the 3, these are all put into one electronic portfolio sent to the state for their certification. So that's what they have to do. So when they come, they may come to you and say, I need to create a PLC. I want to work on this. We always tell them to take the guidance from the principal or the site coordinator. So if you're not happy with what they're doing, then we've instructed them to change their direction and to do what you want them to do. So remember, you always have that control. These folks who are working in your building should be seen as not a hindrance, but certainly should be seen as people who are trying to help you and to assist you. So please, make sure that that works like that. And if it doesn't, then please give me a call here at Gardner-Webb. Now, we ask that our candidates, and this maybe has been shared with you, I hope so, it's been shared by the candidate, but we ask our candidates to have leadership opportunities in those 8 clinical hours in one of these areas, whether it's in leadership opportunities, and we have a list of a couple of things in which they can do, whether it's supervisory or whether it's technical knowledge. Now, we also realize that you may have some candidates coming to you here these last couple of weeks and saying, oh my God, school's out, we can't be back in the building, what can we do? We've got to get 40 more hours for our internship. We believe at Gardner-Webb that this pandemic and this strange alternate universe they're in really gives our candidates an opportunity to rise to present some leadership skills. So work with them if you can. We've told them that if they have problems, please contact us and work with us. But anything that they can do, whether it's through the technical knowledge piece of helping some of the other teachers know how to learn how to use Zoom or learn how to use some of the internet tools that are pretty common here at Gardner-Webb and have been pretty common in their educational experience. So they may be freaking out, but there are some really great opportunities here that they could exhibit some leadership skills. Use them, utilize them, bring them in to help you as you start doing things. These folks understand that they have that responsibility. Again, if they start freaking out about the 80 hours, and that's something they need to talk with us about. If you can still provide them opportunities, we hope that you will. But we ask that they do their 80 hours from one of these 3 categories. Now, our program is built upon 21 competencies of the master's program. These are all here. And again, we're asking at the end of the program, whether it's the 3 semester or the 5 semester, that they have exhibited at least 3 opportunities to address each one of the 21 competencies. And you will find those throughout their internship log. Now, this is what the internship log looks like. So at the end of the semester, this is what the candidate will bring to you and ask you to sign. It is their responsibility to keep up with it. The only thing that we ask at the end of the year is, end of the semester, is that you sign off on it, that they've completed their 80 hours. You're done at that point. So that's sort of your what we ask of you, and we hope that we've minimized it. And if there's any questions, I hope that you'll give me a call and give me an opportunity to answer those. As you can see, all of our programs are based around the 7 standards of executive leadership in the state of North Carolina. So that's pretty much our program. And then I turned it over to Dr. Lamb, who talked about some of the challenges ahead. And I covered a little bit of this, but mostly what he spoke about was, what do we do in a pandemic? What do we do when school's out for 2 weeks, possibly longer? How do these candidates, how do they get their 80 hours? Or what can they do? And it just, again, goes back to, for them to look for opportunities for leadership no matter what the situation. We know the job that you do every day is extremely up and down. It's always changing, and always, and your flexibility is what gets you and helps you. So we're asking that they also have this flexibility. We're asking that you also work with them if they look for opportunities for them to exhibit some leadership. Look for opportunities for them to do some of those clinical hours. But again, if they're freaking out and you don't want to deal with it, please forward them on to Gardner-Webb University. And then we ended with question and answer. We didn't have many. And I finished up with just, again, a sincere thank you for what you do. Thank you for your partnership with Gardner-Webb University. And as always, if there is anything that the university can do for you, I hope that you will reach out to us. I believe that when our coaches went out and spoke with you when your candidate first started, that we shared with you that Gardner-Webb has resources that we can, for staff development, that would be more than glad to come out and help with anything that you may have some need for. But again, I want to thank you, and I am praying for our public school systems. I know your job is difficult, and as we get through these times, we understand it's all about family, it's all about pulling together. It's about Gardner-Webb's mission of reaching out for compassion, for taking care of each other, as I know that you're doing. But I want to thank you again for your partnership with Gardner-Webb University, and certainly appreciate you, and God bless you.